Hello, my dear children, and welcome back. Your exams are just around the corner, so today we're going to tackle a super important chapter, presentation of data. I know, it sounds a bit heavy, but I promise you, this chapter is a gold mine for easy marks. By the end of this, you'll be turning those confusing numbers into full marks, guaranteed. You know that feeling when you look at a page just full of numbers? It can feel a little messy, right? It's like looking at a really cluttered room where you just can't find anything. But trust me, we're going to clean up this room together. With a few simple steps, all this data will become super clear and easy to understand. So here's our game plan for today. It's a simple 6-step roadmap to mastering this chapter. We'll start with why we even bother presenting data. Then we'll upgrade from text to tables and see what makes a perfect table. After that, the fun part, diagrams and graphs. And of course, we'll finish with a quick check to see if you're all set for the exam. Chalo, let's get started. So, first question, why can't we just leave the data in a messy paragraph? Well, imagine trying to find out the population of, say, Uttar Pradesh from a 10-page essay. It would be so difficult, right? The whole point of presenting data is to organize it, to make it neat and tidy so that anyone can look at it and understand the main points in just a few seconds. Okay, so look here. On the left, you have textual presentation, basically just writing everything out in a paragraph. This is only okay for 1 or 2 little facts, but for your exams, it's just no. On the right, that's our first big upgrade, a table. We put everything into neat rows and columns. Suddenly, it's so easy to read, easy to compare. This is the first skill you absolutely need to nail. Right, so we all agree that tables are the way to go, but to get full marks, you need to make the perfect table. And to do that, you need to know all its parts. Think of it just like labeling a diagram in your biology class. Every part has a name and a purpose. Let's take a look at this one. This table is straight out of your textbook, and it's a really good example. It's showing the population of India divided into workers and non-workers. Now, we're going to take it apart, piece by piece, so you know exactly what goes where. These are the must-haves for a perfect table, okay? The table number is like its roll number. The title tells the whole story in one line. Captions are the headings at the top for the columns. Stubs are the headings on the side for the rows. The body, well, that's the main part with all your numbers. And listen carefully, this is super important. Always write the source at the bottom. Teachers often cut marks if you forget that. All right, tables are fantastic. But you know what's even better than a table of numbers? A picture. And that's what diagrams are. They're like the Instagram for data. You just post one picture and everybody immediately gets what you're trying to say. It's powerful stuff. Let's start with the easiest one, the simple bar diagram. Look here. We're comparing the male literacy rate in different states. It's so clear, right? The taller the bar, the higher the literacy. It's perfect when you want to compare just one thing, like marks or rainfall or anything, across different places or categories. But what if you want to compare 2 things at the same time? Like maybe your marks in maths versus your marks in science. For that, we use a multiple bar diagram. See how for each state there are 2 bars right next to each other? Here, they're comparing female literacy in 2001 with 2011. You can see the improvement instantly. It's great for showing change over time. Okay, quick question for all of you. Bar diagrams are for comparing things, but what if you want to show how your pocket money gets split up? You know, some for food, some for movies, some for books. How would you show the parts of your total pocket money? Yes, the answer is a pie diagram. I like to call it the pizza chart because that's exactly what it is. It's a circle, a whole pizza, and each slice shows one part of the total. This diagram here shows how India's population is divided. It's the absolute best way to show percentages of a total. And don't worry, making one is so simple, Beta. There's an easy formula. First, you add up everything to get the total. Then, for each slice, you just divide its value by the total and multiply by 360. Why 360? Because a full circle has 360 degrees. That's it. It's a simple calculation that will get you full marks every time. Okay, now for all my students who are aiming to be toppers, it's time to level up. Let's get into the advanced stuff. These are the graphs that will really make your answers stand out. Histograms, polygons, and ogives. Pay close attention, these are very important. Now listen very carefully, this is a classic exam question. What's the difference between a bar diagram and a histogram? They look similar, but they're not. The biggest difference is this. Bar diagrams have gaps between the bars. See? But histograms, no gaps. The bars are all touching each other because they show continuous data, like marks from 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on.
So here's what a proper histogram looks like. See? All the bars are stuck together. Now, see that line graph drawn over it? That's called a frequency polygon. It's super easy to make. You just put a dot in the middle of the top of each bar and connect the dots. It's just another cool way to show the same information.
All right, next up is something with a funny name, an ogive. Don't let the name scare you. It's really easy. It's just a curve that shows cumulative frequency. Cumulative just means you keep adding up the frequencies as you go along. There's a less than ogive, which always goes up, and a more than ogive, which always goes down.
And now for the magic trick. This is an 100% guaranteed exam question, so listen up. When you draw both the less than and the more than Ogives on the same graph paper, the point where they cross is magic. You draw lines straight down from that point to the x-axis, and bam, that value is your median. No calculation needed.
Wow, amazing job, everyone. We've covered all the main tools. So you think you're ready for the exam? Let's do a quick fire question to see how much you've learned. This is just for fun to boost your confidence. Okay, here it is, straight from your textbook. Ogives can be helpful in locating graphically is it A, mode, B, mean, C, median, or D, none of the above? You just learned this. Think. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And the answer is C, median. Of course it is. I am so sure all of you got that right. Fantastic work. See? You already know this stuff so well. So let's just do a super quick recap. When to use what? Use text only for very, very small bits of data. Use tables to organize everything neatly. Use bar diagrams to compare things. Use pie charts to show percentages or parts of a whole. And for the advanced stuff, use histograms and ogives for continuous data to find the mode and the median graphically.
Always remember this, my dear students. Data isn't just a bunch of boring numbers. Every set of data is a story that's just waiting to be told. And now, you know how to be a beautiful storyteller using tables and diagrams. Practice these well, study hard, and you are going to do wonderfully. All the very best for your exams.